Hi, everybody. I'm seeing that it's starting to go on. So let's get going here and get it shared on over. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Tuesday evening. Let's see here. I see some of you guys are getting on. I'm trying to make sure it's on every platform. So welcome. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Let's get this going. Bring in your comments. I'm streaming live from StreamYard. So remember, you give your permissions and everything else, and we're going to be popping up your comments if you guys comment with us live so that we can all be part of this conversation. And we'll get this on this other one. I'll make sure all of you that are on the other page that the privacy setting is correct, because it always waits till I go live and I have to change the privacy setting then so I can see your comments coming in. So, okay, we've got that one going. And how are you guys doing on this Tuesday night? Are you guys ready to talk about living on the surface, living your real truth, living who you are? Where are we all living today, right? Let's talk about this. Let's bring it in. We talked about this last week when I was a guest on the Curiosity Theory with Martin Lopez. And since then, I've had a bunch of you reach out and say, you know what, it really struck a chord with me. It really brought me home. It really helped me figure out things I needed to be figuring out for myself and things I deserve to figure out for myself. So that's why I said, okay, well, guess what tonight we should do is talk about, where are we living? What's our truth, or what are our lies? Where are we in this world? And it's not always easy for us to really get to that place and discuss it, share it, right? Talk about it. It's not a very comfortable place for us to be. I don't know how many of you guys, oops, let's see. We didn't have that down all the way. Sorry, excuse me. Where are you guys? Are you guys always, I see Jeanette's on. I see different people are on as well all over. Welcome, Jeanette. I hope things are going great in California. But where do you guys feel? Are you comfortable like being your true self? Are you comfortable being who you are? Are you comfortable being what you are? Or are you still living on that surface? And then what's your surface look like, right? It's not always something that's easy for us to do or for us to figure out or be in. So that's where we really wanted to kind of bring it forth to you guys today. Let's talk about it. If you guys have any questions, if you have any comments, if you're just in a rough place right now and you're living on your surface, what is your surface? Because our surface can always be new. Our surface doesn't have to be so shallow or anything like that. We can start to take deep dives into our life, and then we have new surfaces, right? And there are new things that we deserve to deal with and fill and move through as well. So let's bring the real conversation here as I see some more of you guys jumping on. I hope that everyone has had a beautiful start to your week. So please let me know how your weeks have been going. It's Tuesday, it's the start of the week, but I know it's already been a crazy week for so many people. So how's your week going? Is it crazy? Is it good? Is it great? Is it happy? Is it sad? There's a lot of people who have been sick. There's like a whole new wave of COVID. There's a whole new wave of flu. There's a whole new wave of pneumonia. There's the whole new wave of school ideas. And I just saw this different things on Facebook with, even local communities of where there's new ideas of what are they doing with school. Prior, they had certain decisions, and now they're coming to new decisions of what to do for school. And that brings those kinds of items into our surface that we're living on, right? And so that's what we want to talk about. Like, are you living on your surface, and what is your surface? So what are some things that, for those of you that are out there, do you feel your surface is? Do you feel like your surface is filled with truth? Do you feel like your surface that you live on is filled with lies? And when I say surface, we have like a surface, right? Do we really sit and tell everyone when we're having a bad day? If you say, hey, Jessica, how'd you wake up this morning? And I say, you know what? Oh, life is fabulous and great. It's so great. It's so fabulous. And it really isn't. And maybe I woke up with a migraine. Maybe I had a crappy day, excuse my language. And maybe I just had all kinds of things just come tumbling down. But am I really standing in my truth of who I am or how I feel or things of the sense, right? And when we say that, you can say, like, if you're really saying, oh, I'm happy, are you really saying it because you're changing your story? You're choosing to be positive so that you have a much better day. You're starting to see the positive in negativity. When we do that, then it's not like if we're telling a lie or we're living on the surface, we're trying to hide things, because a lot of us lie even just via omission, right? And we start to live on a different kind of surface because of omitting who we are or what we're going through, and not necessarily sharing it with other people. But if we're doing it for a purpose because we're learning our lessons from it, that's different than continuously living lies, continuously living our own lives and ourselves, that now one lie creates another. And it becomes much more difficult to maintain those lies. It becomes much more difficult to hold on to those things or to deal with those things and move through everything. So that's what I want to talk about are you living on the surface? So where are you guys at? I know there's some of you guys in there. Do you feel like, hey, I'm living on the surface? Do you feel like you have a new surface? Is your surface at new vibrational levels? Have you taken deep dives? Because remember, just like when we swim, we can be up on the surface and catch air, but we can also deep dive, right? We can dive down and we can deal with things, pick up something and bring it to the surface. And that's very important to be discussing or talking about, right? How do we bring things up energetically, safely to deal with on the surface, so that it's not something that's too large, too overwhelming, too personal, too emotional for us? And that can be very difficult, right? So I'm glad to see that you guys are back here on Enlightened Circles right now on this Tuesday. We come every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Enlightened Circles. Sometimes I have the honor and bring in a guest, and sometimes I just want to make it for you guys as well. Even though when we have guests, we have the platform where you can type in your comments, you can type in your questions. But sometimes it's nice because when I've heard a lot of the same topic, we get to bring things to the surface, like right now as well. So this definitely is your time. So I highly encourage you, write in your comments. Let's get talking. Let's get chatting about our surface. I know for myself, because I always try to be pretty transparent with you guys here as well. For myself, I know that I've lived on the surface. We all have. Anyone that says that they live on the surface or they haven't told their white lies about their day or their life or something like that, probably not telling you the truth at the moment, right? Because even if it's by omissions and us doing it, then we present something different than what's really within. I've lived there myself, but at the same time, I've also learned how to deal with things on my surface, how to go down below the surface and bring whatever it is, emotional, spiritual, physical, all these different kinds of things that maybe I need and deserve to deal with. I have learned how to bring them to my surface, and then how to transmute them, transform them out, to change those energies and change my stories. But yet as well, because I'm able to go down and take that deep dive in, because I'm able to take that deep dive in, right? Because I'm able to go down below the surface, I can really bring things up and deal with them in a safe way, in a loving way, and something that also as well allows me to move forward in life, right? It allows me to be stronger. It allows me to have learned my lessons. It allows me to move forward in positive ways and really bring that unconditional love forward, really be all that I am, all that I deserve to be. And it gives me the strength in a beautiful, peaceful format as well. And I think when we have so much that's down below our surface that we haven't dealt with, and we're just living on the surface, when these things rise up, even if we don't dive down to get them, it's like how my beautiful friend Jeremy McDonald always says, like, it's like being in an ocean, right? And you have these big beach balls and you even try to weight them down and send them deep down, but they start to rise up and come up. And eventually you have all these beach balls that are going to rise up that you don't know what to do or how to deal with them, right? And if you have all your surface dealing with these emotional beach balls or trauma or something else, you can't even like wade your way through them. So better yet, if you can deal with everything on your surface and then start to take your deep dive into all that you are, into who you are. Do your energetic work, your spiritual work, your emotional work to be that stronger, more beautiful, amazing soul that you deserve to be. Then you have a lot less roadblocks in life. And I mean, I noticed that anytime I've allowed myself to only be on the surface, I don't go that far in life. It doesn't function that way. I know a lot of my clients as well. They've mentioned the same thing. If they're living on the surface, whether it be lies, different things, or not being true with themselves, true to who they are, true to what they're feeling, true to what their emotions are, then they have a lot more to deal with, and it's a lot more difficult to be moving forward in all these abundant formats, whether it be financial, emotional, spiritual, romantic, loving. And so as I know that I've gone ahead and worked on myself, it has made my life so much more fluid. It has made my life so much more easier. And that's how I can have all this beautiful connection to be here with you all as well and try to assist you in your enlightened circles and empowerment as well. So I saw Bernadette jumped on. I see Teresa's on. Alberta's on, Jeanette, like I said, Wayne, and I'm just on Enlightened Circles watching here. And I know some of you all are on different sources, platforms coming in as well via YouTube and my other Facebook page. So give a shout out, write in the comments, say hello. And where are you? How's your surface? Is your surface feel like it's ice and you're skating all over and it's kind of dangerous, or it's glass, and if it's wet because it's been raining a lot of places, thank God for the beautiful rain, especially out in the desert and droughts. Do you feel like you're on a surface that it's slippery? Do you have traction in your life? Are you starting to get traction? Are you starting to see where you can go? This is the important things for us to start to analyze, and each one of us deserves to be able to see who we are, what we are, and figure out these new ways to be us. And especially because I've heard so many of you have been doing so much soul searching, so much that you've been bringing into your own life now that you've been at home, working from home. Hi, Bernadette. As you guys have been out there, you've been doing so much to bring yourself into a whole new beautiful place, right? You've been doing a lot to bring your spiritual self forward. You've been doing a lot to bring your emotional self forward, to do your own repair work. So how is it that each one of you is now starting to bring your hearts, bring your souls, and bring everything else up to your surface, so that even if you are living on that surface, you are living on your surface in a whole new way, in a whole new vibrational way, right? I'm gonna bring up Teresa's comment. I love this. Thank you, Teresa, for sharing this. She says, hello, it depends on who I'm speaking to and whether it feels like it's superficial conversation or not. And I love that Teresa's bringing that forward, because it really is that, right? How many of us, especially because in this world, we always try to keep it real right here on Enlightened Circles. So thanks, Teresa, for bringing that up. How many of you guys, I know I've done it, how many of you, because we're in this PR world and we quote unquote should or quote unquote have to talk a certain way with people, we don't really bring our real true thoughts, our real true emotions to the table, even with family. I know a lot of times I haven't had that conversation with my family because I'm not sure how they might deal with it. I'm not sure how they might say something. I'm not sure how they might perceive what I'm trying to share with them, right? So we start to suppress things. And like Teresa said, it depends on who we're speaking with sometimes, whether it feels like a superficial conversation or not. And when we have those superficial conversations, then we really do start to live on a surface, because we're omitting things or hiding things or not sharing in our true energy of ourselves. And it's hard enough when we can't share with somebody else. It makes us almost feel like we can't share with ourselves. And so in come the blockages, in comes that energy. And then we have this feeling. I mean, how many of you guys have that feeling when stuff like that happens? And then you throat chakra, for those of you who are into the chakras and you understand, our throat chakra, even if you don't know what a chakra is, your throat starts to like close down and tighten up, or your chest does. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel that anxiety, right? And that stress. And it's because of that, right? We start to have where our energy gets stopped up and our emotions get stopped up, right? So it really does affect how we are. And then sometimes we walk away from something, and then what happened? we start to get a little bit angry. We start to get irritated. We have anxiety after we walked away because we couldn't be our true self, or we felt we couldn't be our true self. So what are some of the ways? Because I see Kimberly, she was on, and Bernadette, and you guys, and Teresa commenting. Thank you guys for being a part of this. But how is it that you guys have come forth, a lot of you, to start to speak your truth, or to start to do that deeper work down below the surface? You know, that's one of the things we like to do here on Enlightened Circles, is all of us share, because as we all start to share our awakening, our enlightenment, our self, our soul with each other, we help strengthen each other right here. We help strengthen our own enlightened circles, but we help enlighten each other along the way. And that makes that longer chain link, right? And that's how we rise up on those vibrations. And yet again, guys, right here, if I can encourage you, this is a chance to have that open conversation, to have that honest conversation right here in Enlightened Circles, and share below our surface, right? So a lot of us have had people in our own life that have hurt us, hurt our feelings, hurt our emotions, hurt our everything, right? Financially, different things, right? So that starts to bring us to starting to want to shut down, close down, and be back on that surface again. And let me put this up here real quick. I got it, guys. Okay, good. Thank you. I was returning comments here, so we got that. But, you know, we start to have where we ourselves as well, right? We start to put these blockages up. So what happens? We start to live on the surface, or we start to push things away. We start to push people away, right? And I've done that. I've been there where you're not sure, and you've done that. We've all done that at some point, at some time in our life. Even if you're a realist and you really don't do that anymore, or you don't do it today in your life, at most points in our life, most of us have done that, where what, like Teresa says, when we're having that conversation maybe with somebody that's not doing it, but more so when we've been hurt by somebody, we start to shut down, we start to push away, and we start to place a surface there, right? And before we know it, that surface becomes our new norm, because we're putting that surface there due to somebody else, but yet now it's affecting us. It's affecting our energy. It's affecting who we are, how we are. And we deserve to break through that surface, because otherwise that surface starts to become a blockage, okay? And when we're living on that surface that's a false surface, that's when we're walking on eggshells. That's when we're walking on ice. And it's very unfair sometimes for ourselves to even put the blame because of others, right? So those who have been in a breakup because someone was cheating on you, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it might be, right? It becomes difficult, especially if you know or feel that that might be going on, and you start to walk on those eggshells and the surface starts to form. Yet at the same time, even though maybe you, quote unquote, didn't do something wrong, you start to walk on a surface that's not the real you. And in that point, in a sense too, we might be contributing, or we deserve to see how do I take responsibility for this whole relationship and put the peace and the love there, so that I can have a real conversation with this person in a way that is not going to hurt them, hurt me, that it can be more open and we can discuss things and maybe bring certain things to the surface that deserve to be discussed and talked about. And then therefore we can have a much more peaceful resolution. Okay. Now, not everyone's really willing to do that, and that's okay. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. At that point, you just have to go within and say, am I being truthful? Am I being honest with who I am? Am I really allowing myself to see the whole entire picture, not just from my side of my feelings, my emotions? Am I taking a step outside the box, looking at the other side of the box, looking in, right? Circle, diamond, whatever shape we want to look at it. And then am I just going to say, okay, this is what it is, and I'm going to accept what it is, so that therefore I can allow it to be what it is. Now I'm not ice skating on things. I'm not roller skating on things. I am now in it. I am in it with love. I'm in it with peace. I'm in it with wisdom. I can discuss whatever the problem, the issue is, whether it be something that was what we were first talking about. What if it was a financial issue? that was going on? What if it's your childhood issue? What if it's something that has from your PTSD of childhood, or something that hurt you, someone that hurt you, even because there's a lot of different people who have been hurt traumatically, and it gets repressed for so many years. And there are people that are just dealing with things that are 20 years ago. They're recognizing and realizing now, as they've had more of a spiritual, emotional awakening and healing, now they're able to finally deal with abuse and different things. So as those kinds of things come up, I want to just re-encourage you all that there is beautiful ways, there are beautiful tools for us to be utilizing as different things come up to the surface for us to be working with. So a few of those different things, actually Teresa that was on, Teresa Chavez, sound meditation, sound vibrations. She is a beautiful healer, and she works with sound and singing bowls, right? So if you're a person that's into sound, it would be something that you could be utilizing, where you can be watching meditations that are at certain hertz, allow yourself to vibrationally tune. There could be where you're utilizing singing bowls. You can be listening to meditation CDs. Those of you who like to rock out to the 80s or music to exercise to, sometimes that can assist us in bringing our vibrations into a new place for us, so that we can focus, so that we can look past everything that might be affecting us. We can look past the chaos, and we can look past it with peacefulness and with wisdom. Okay. So that's one way, just the good old breath. We've talked about breath a lot here, and just taking that deep breath. So everybody come with me and let's take a few deep breaths. Beautiful deep breath. Another deep breath. I promise no one's looking at you on your end, or not through this camera. Close your eyes, take that beautiful deep breath so you're not concentrating on anything else. Take that deep breath, here you go. And just let yourself connect with all that's divine, whatever that's divine for you is, God, source, light, spirit. Bring it in. And feel, where do you feel the energy getting caught up? Some of you, I can feel that in your chest. Some of you in the left lobes of your chest, which is also connecting with heart chakra, right? I'm feeling some of you like getting lightheaded right now, and feeling that. A lot of you are feeling it back in the back of your neck back here, below your medulla oblongata, right? And in your cervical vertebrae. Some of you, I feel the knees where it's getting stuck. And some of you in the hips, especially when it's been because of fears and anxieties of family and things that are moving forward or not moving forward with family, loved ones, children, and grandparents. I'm seeing that a lot, right? So everybody just continue to take those deep breaths, and and recognize where that energy starts to feel to get stuck within you. And as you continue with that deep breath, allow everything that's divine to come in and assist in flushing that out, transmuting it, transforming it into something positive and good. Right? Release the anxiety, release the fears, release the tension, release the trauma. And we offer this all up with peace, love, and light for your highest good, your highest purpose, for all the transformations, all the transmutations of the energy to be something beautiful, to be something positive, and to be something real, that it's gone, it's released with love and light. There you go. I'm starting to feel it, especially the chest. Those of you with the knees, keep going. And as we're here and we start to feel more calm and peace within each one of us, allow that energy as well to go out to all these other beautiful enlightened circles that are here live with us now, or going to be watching this later, because the energy is the same. It's here with us right now. Take those deep breaths. Okay. How are you guys starting to feel? Excuse me, as you guys start to feel your releases, I can feel them coming through. Thank you. A few more deep breaths, letting that all get transformed, let it get transmutated into something beautiful, positive, good, divine, so that you have that healing energy within, you have that healing light within, you have all the beauty that you are within you. And when you're in these moments, you can start to ask that you start to live in your true self, that you're not on that surface. There you go. Now we're starting to feel the releases. There we go. Okay, everyone's feeling a lot better. I can feel that peace coming in. I can feel that grounding come in. Every single one of you deserve that. It's been a crazy day. It's been a fabulous day in other ways, though, as well, because as it's a crazy day, you're joining us here now so that we can all kind of reground. We can get here together. I got the other comments coming in now as well. Those of you who were on Jessica from Facebook, I had already set those privacy settings, but I hadn't clicked in yet. So I'm seeing that you guys are here with us. You haven't been missing. We can feel your energy. I can see Suzanne was here as well. And, she was commenting and we're feeling the pain. Gilbert and Jen were talking about the pain, in the back, as well as crazy enough Suzanne was, right? So your back across where the bra goes, Jen was saying, and Suzanne was saying about her back center, right? And it was totally overwhelming, but she's better now. So this is how we all come together and we start to allow ourselves to heal, right? We start to allow everything that we are get grounded, cleared, cleansed, right? We allow things to move on and move past. Okay, and your guys' back just came back into pain, and I'm feeling especially right behind the right lower shoulder blade, right above the diaphragm. So who's that we're tuning in on? Excuse me. We've all been having these, I can say for myself, my weeks have not been exactly how planned. And the planning that had been planned already for like a month or two, and it just switched and changed. And I'm back in New Mexico and I'm not supposed to physically be here right now. But everything always happens the way it's supposed to happen and divinely happen, right? So I myself make sure that, okay, what's going on my surface? What's going on in my deep dive within? What's going on my physical planes, my spiritual planes, my emotional planes? Are they all in sync? And is there anything I need to be doing to assist in bringing them into being in sync, right? And asking, hey, spiritual body, where are you at, Holmes? Okay, you're there, you're connected with me, right? You feeling good? I'm feeling good, but are you in your right place? Are you in your proper plane? Are you getting your energy from your proper plane and place, or are you taking it from physical body? Is that why I'm so tired all this week? Because I couldn't figure it out. Or is physical body giving something else hard time, right? So these are things that we could be checking in. Suzanne, thanks for sharing this and bringing it and keeping it real. She's saying she had gastrointestinal issues all week. So, okay, let's work on that real quick because, your back was hurting just a bit ago, but the GI problems, right? So what's going on, not just in her life, but in all of our lives, when we start feeling those GI problems, what's going on deep down within our gut? Are we feeling that maybe because we didn't get certain things done like we wanted to get done and planned and everything else? Where do we normally feel, right? In that fight or flight. Anyone that gets scared, we usually just jump into that, oh, our tummy feels so messed up. Okay, right? And we're our tummy gets tight and we just that sometimes has something to do with it. So I want, especially Suzanne, I want you to check in. How has your schedule been? What have you been able to do? What have you been able to not do, right? And let's go ahead and let's take some deep breaths and release that. Because when we have such a schedule we're supposed to be keeping, Jen, you were talking earlier back behind as well. I'm going to share this. I love this. Thank you, Suzanne. Love you. Holding on to crap and not letting go. Literally, yes, because it happens. And any of you who gets a chance to ever follow Suzanne Taylor, you definitely want to do that. And if you're an entrepreneur, please look her up, as well as trying to build your business, because you're not going to find anyone more real and honest in helping you get on that positive line than Suzanne. But we all go through all of these things together, right? And what do we hold on to? And are we holding on to the literal, stuff within? Or are we holding on to, other items that is therefore tightening our stomach down, right? We're tying the knots within our own stomach, especially when we're holding on to emotional things or spiritual things that we haven't allowed to come through and go up through. And what is that emotional stuff? What were we talking about? Living on the surface, right? So when we're living on the surface and we have the surface out here, but really we're back here and we're not bringing things up to the surface, then we're holding on to things. We're not letting it go because we're almost afraid sometimes to talk about it. And we're afraid to not really talk about it, work through it. And it's even more difficult when it's to deal with family or clients or other things, right? Then we're afraid to say, like, okay, how do I come forth and say this so that therefore I'm being honest with who I am, what I feel, what I know, and I'm also being honest for them. Because if we don't bring things forward, we can't expect, yes, okay, I might have some psychic abilities. I don't know everything going on in your head. You don't know everything going on in my head. If you're psychic, we get windows. We all get ideas. We get energy that we feel it, right? We have these quote unquote gifts, but we feel the energies of others, but we don't know everything going on. And this is so true, even what Suzanne's saying. It's the SHIT that does not serve me, right? And we hold on to things that are not serving. So what is the different things that are not serving you? What is, like Suzanne says, I'm going to bring this one up again. What is the SHIT that each one of you is holding on to that's not serving you? So therefore you're dealing with it on the surface, or you're leaving it behind and we haven't gotten it out, right? I don't know about you guys, but hey, I raise cattle. I know some other people here do as well. When you go to a cattle show, what are the cows going to do? They're going to release the energy they've consumed, right? And I'm talking about what they eat goes out. We all release the energy consumed in our physical bodies, right? But do we normally hold on to that? Don't we have ways of disposing it? Well, it's the same way with our energetic self, with our emotions, with other energies as well, right? We deserve ways to dispose of it, right? And it's not necessarily disposing of it, it's transforming it into something good. You think about the manure that comes from the cattle. What do? They collect it and then it gets used as fertilizer, right? So it is not just disposed of, it is taken, transformed into peat moss, is transformed into some type of fertilizer that can be reutilized. And then what does it do? It's creating new life. It's creating new energy. It's creating new beauty that gets to be there beneficial for each and every single one of us, right? So it's the same thing with all these energetic and emotional blockages that we have that we're not allowing to surface and or us to deal with or us to work with, especially when like weeks have been crazy like the last few weeks, right? We're not dealing with it. So how are you creating your fertilizer out of this SHIT shit that you're dealing with, right? It's one of those things we really can do it. We really can transform that energy. We can come into this physically, emotionally. Look, Suzanne was just saying how her back was hurting. Jen, tap back in with us and let us know how your back is, right? Because you were saying it's your back across where the bra goes. So let us know how that is. But we can really come back to center. We can come back to a physically healthy, capable self as well. And that's important to know. That's important for each one of us to do. So those transformations can happen physically as well. More importantly, it can happen emotionally, right, with us. It can happen emotionally. It can happen spiritually. And that's something that's important for us to know, something for us to understand. So who's out there? Type in some comments. Let us know where you're at. Let us know how you're feeling. Suzanne, I can feel your tummy moving. So as we're doing this, as Jen's saying her back's not as tight now, and she's saying, phew. So that's good. I love hearing this. I love when we start working together like this. And thanks everyone who is here working together on this team right now, because it's an Enlightened Circle team. It's not just me out here doing this. It's each and every single one of you, and it's each and every single one of you allowing it to work within you, okay? So let's get some energy out there to Suzanne as well and to everyone else. GI problems have been going on. Oh, yay, great. We're gonna see this beautiful one here. Excuse me. Bring this one up real good. Suzanne's saying getting some tea back feels better, so I love that. But Kimberly's here with us saying, for me, being in the restaurant business, having several here in Florida, dealing with customers 10 to 12 hours a day for 14 years, I realize that there are many mean-spirited, angry people and do not hesitate to attack you and your business. I have to say a prayer prior to walking into work and ask God and the universe to be put a protective shield around me to handle each and every day. It really affects my soul. Some days I feel so jaded. I have to live on the surface daily. The transformation, right? So, and Jen saying she loves being in the team. I love that you're here too, Jen. So, you know, Kimberly's bringing it real. She's bringing the reality up here, right? She has to live on the surface, or at least we feel like we have to live on the surface. And she is in front of people. She's in front of public. It's not easy to be in front of people and be real, or to be truthful, or to be honest, to be open, especially because not everyone's always going to get what you're going to say. And it can affect, especially when there's things that can affect your income, your finances, and everything else. We also are trying to, with Kimberly, it's not that she's always having to live on the surface, I believe, Kim. I know that you're also trying to be respectful of others. And that's one thing I want to bring forward. When we're really trying to do it to be respectful of others, let's give ourselves some of that forgiveness as well, so that therefore we don't start to feel so agitated and so irritated. And I love how you're saying that you ask God to put up that protective shield, and universe to put up that protective shield around you and that protective light. That is super important for each one of us to be doing. I know Gilbert, he always talks about, going out to work, and he's going different places all the time, every day. And it's very important to be putting up that protective shield as each one of us goes to work with others and do things, because we are subjected to that energy exchange. Everything in life has energy. Everyone in life has energy. And it's definitely about us being part of that energy and knowing how to protect our energy and or protect against others, as well as interacting, right? And I think that it's one of those things that we really deserve to know, and how to respect those lines and those boundaries without ignoring ourselves, our true self, our true heart, our true soul, right? Jen was saying what has helped me, Kimberly, is when I'm getting ready reading in the AM, I ask God to place a protective shield over me throughout my day. And I finish my day by giving him all my worries. And I love that, because a beautiful friend of mine, and I was talking about this with somebody else again today, a beautiful friend of mine gave me this beautiful analogy, and I brought it up here prior. And it's like saying, God, spirit, universe, I want you to take care of all my worries, all my pains, whatever it is, right? And so many of us do that. I've done it. I say it myself, right? And we do that. And what we do is, she's saying, just imagine yourself getting them all, putting them in a gift box. And you wrap that gift box up, the most beautiful gift box you can imagine wrapping up, like you would wrap up a beautiful Christmas gift, right? Beautiful paper, beautiful bows, wrap it up, tie that bow in, tie that bow tight. And then you give it over to God, give it to spirit, give it to universe, whoever it is for you, right? But give it to God and just say, okay, God, here's my worries. I'm going to trust that you're going to take care of them. So I'm wrapping them up with love to send to you so you can take care of them. You can deal with them, right? Right. And then what do? We go right back over there and we reach for the box and we pull it back. And sometimes we take it all the way back. And sometimes we even unwrap it. And sometimes we unwrap it halfway and we take some of it out of the box, right? And we're not truly giving it over. So do you give over your worries completely to whatever it is, what the format is that you're transforming them, that you're asking for them to be transformed, that you're asking those worries to be transmutated, right? That's what we were doing earlier, even with our breath work. We were accepting that beautiful light energy to come in. We're accepting that beautiful healing light, the beautiful light energy. We're accepting all that's great, all that's powerful, and all that is even within us to truly be able to deal with it, transform it, as well as give us the strength, the wisdom, and knowledge. When we can make that divine connection, then we start to get that strength and that wisdom and that knowledge on how to deal with whatever that SHIT is, right? To deal whatever that problem is. We deserve that, and we will work through it, right? So whatever crap's going on within us, physically, emotionally, spiritually, we really truly can transform it. We truly can work through it, and we can come above it. And even if something stays behind, we start to understand why it's behind. We start to understand the lesson. We start to understand the reason. And then it's not that trying on us, and it doesn't become, even though it looks like it's on the surface for everybody else, it's really not a surface item of something that bothers us anymore. It has now been dealt with, and it can move on. So we bring new things to our surface, right? And we learn to deal and work with those things in a loving, wise way. Okay. So how many of you out there are resonating with us and feeling this? Send up your emojis. You know, if this has been working for you, you want to like and share it on out onto your Facebook pages, onto your YouTube, onto personal friends, please do so, because all of us deserve to work through these things. If you got any other comments, any other ideas of how you work through things, like, you know, Kim sharing, Jen sharing, Suzanne sharing, please share them, bring them in, because there's so many beautiful ways. And even though I work with so many multiple ways, we don't always have time to talk about them right here on this show, right? We don't always have time to bring everything forth. And so your comments help bring things up to the surface, so that we, as we're living on the surface, right? We're living on the surface with truth now. We start to live on the surface with love. We start to live on the surface with light. And we start to live on the surface in every which new beautiful way we deserve, instead of the lies, the falsities, the walls that we build, and the energetic blockages. Our surface now becomes a beautiful place that we want to be. And it's not anything we fear anymore. Like a pool or like the ocean, we can be a lot afraid. We can end up being afraid of drowning. You know, I've worked as a swim, float, survival swim coach and teacher for little children from 6 months old to 12 years old and above. And as you do these types of things, you start to you're working with kids, and they're learning that their world is now not a two-dimensional world that they sit on and stand on or lay on, and that they have the support. They now start to say, this is not something holding me up. They have to learn how to hold themselves up, right? They have to learn how, and they deserve as well to learn how to bring themselves up to the surface. And they deserve to learn how to float on the surface and survive, right? And backflow. So they learn how to swim. We teach these beautiful 6-month-old children how to swim. A 6-month-old, come on guys, if they can do it, we can do it, right? We teach them how to swim, and we teach them how to be able to turn on their back and to float, to survive, so that therefore they don't drown. And how many of us are drowning because when we live on our surface, we're drowning by lies or what we haven't dealt with below us. And we start to get afraid of what's down below us. And so therefore we start to look down, and we start to get afraid. And when we look down, if we were laying flat on our back, what does it do? It brings our hips down. That starts to make our body change. And therefore we start to sink down deep into something that does not assist us in the correct ways. Instead, we deserve to lay flat, put our chin up, and look up above, right? And that's what we're doing spiritually. Suzanne, I hear you. I'm putting it up. She says, I'm moving through some big changes in my business, and the fear comes up as blocks moving past the surface. And thank you for bringing that up and talking about it and keeping it real, because that really does happen, right? When we go through big changes in our life, or marriage, business, kids, whatever it might be, they're big changes. And something big to somebody might be minute to somebody else, and vice versa, right? But the fear comes up as blockages. And then we move past the surface, right? So as we do that, and she's saying, yes, you know, as we do that, it really does happen. And we deserve to bring ourselves into that energy, so that when we're on this surface becomes our surface with our power, right? And I'll slow down. Yes, Hamid. So we do come up where we get to be on the surface and back float. where we get to put our chin up, we get to see God, we get to see the beauty, we get to see our connection. All that is beautiful, and bring that in so that we can float, and whatever comes cannot sink us anymore. Okay? Whatever comes up will not sink who we are and what we are. Okay? We don't deserve to sink. And because of that, each and every single one of you out there deserves to float. You don't just deserve to float, though. You deserve to start to be able to float when you'd like to. You deserve to swim when you'd like to. You deserve to be able to be on a raft, or however you want to be on your surface. Build everything for you the way you deserve to have it happen for you. Okay? And by allowing ourselves to let these energy blockages, our fears, our anxieties rise up for us to meet them, or for us to take the deep dive down and us to get them, so we can make that transformation of the energy from something that was negative, like we said earlier, because these are the words we brought up, the crap, S-H-I-T, in our lives now, right, can go ahead and transform from that into beautiful energy that is fertilizer, that grows the beautiful life, that grows the new energy, that grows so much beauty within all that we are. Okay? And that is something that each and every single one of you deserve to do. So I love that Suzanne is saying she's floating up tomorrow and she's thinking of this. Beautiful. Awesome. Suzanne, you're already floating right now, girlfriend. You're floating right now. And we're all going to float, right? We can float. We can bring ourselves up to a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful platform, right? We can swim. We can skydive. Now we even have survival skills and tools to, even if we want to skydive and be dropped into our own pool, we know how to get back up to the surface as well. Because what happens with physics, right? When we get dropped into something, we go deeper down below the surface. So I encourage you, if you chose to deep dive into your own self right now, go down below your surface, pick something, one thing that has been an energetic block for you, for your heart, for your soul, whatever it is. Bring something up to the surface. Bring it up, and you ask for love, light, and protection around it. Bring it up to the surface, right? And as you bring it up to the surface, you can deal with it with newfound wisdom, with new love, with new light. And it will be something that you're going to succeed at. Okay? You've already succeeded at it because you chose to go deep down and get it and bring it up. So there's already success in that. Now you're just doing your processing. Okay? Now you're just doing your processing. And that is something huge to be doing. That is something huge for each and every single one of you to choose to do, right? When you've already chosen to go get something new and deal with something new, you are already successful. You made the choice and it's happening. It's already in process. So you're not necessarily just living on a surface of lies. You're not living on a surface that you're not comfortable with. Kimberly, even how you said with the different restaurants, bring one thing forward, ask, and even if it's a new assistant to assist you in being able to deal with some of the PR or some of the things that you have to deal with and take on, or it's a new format, a new tool for you, a new meditation for you, a new breath work for you. Ask for that assistance. And even just by asking, you're going to be much more successful because you're already successful with the ways that you're doing. Like you said, you're asking God to be there. You're calling in the light, the protection, and asking for that to be there. But now just ask for your army of angels, guardians, guides, whoever it is that you work with. Your grandmother just popped up, Kimberly. So your grandmother, she's there with you, working with you as well. So bring your grandmother forward into your life and let her stand there with you in some of what you need to be. It's funny, she just showed me a big old rolling pin. So let her have her rolling pin and let her be the one that energetically holds people at bay, right, as well. So that therefore you get to, I see you being able to call more of the same aligned energies in, and those people help share their light with you, their smiles, their happiness, and they help reignite you through your day as you're dealing with everything at the different restaurants, right? And that helps recharge your energy along the way so that everything else does not feel so held back. Love you too, Suzanne. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for sharing and keeping it real too. Each one of you guys have been bringing amazing comments, amazing energy to the table today. And here on Enlightened Circles, I really tried to keep it as open as possible and allowing it to be something for each one of you so that it's something that we can work through as a group, as individuals, here all together as one, so we can work on our own Enlightened Circles, but we can also work on assisting others, right? So that's part of the beautiful thing of what we do right here on Enlightened Circles. So thanks to every single one of you for being here tonight. Thanks to each and every single one of you that's going to join us later as well. I know you couldn't be here, but we still check in with your comments. I check your private messages as well that are coming my way, and really keep trying to tailor this to each of you, with each of you, for each of you as well. Bernadette, thank you for sharing. It certainly helps, and Jessica's amazing to work with. Thank you, Bernadette. She is as well. Each one of you guys has such a beautiful, amazing soul. You have such a divine purpose in life. And sometimes we get caught living on the surface that we don't always look at necessarily what is our purpose? What is our true purpose in life? What are our goals? Who are we? What are we here for? And each one of us has such amazing beauty to share in this world. So allow your surface to now be a beautiful, positive environment around you, so that even when you have to deal with the crap that we've been talking about, the SHIT, it now starts to produce the flowers, or it starts to become a backflow, where now we can backfloat with peace, love, and light underneath these beautiful stars above. And so that therefore we can take everything into a whole new beautiful way, a new beautiful format. And now we're just seeing the beauty above us and around us. And it really does become where you are this happy. This is not fake. I'm not living on the surface. This is my surface is real. It is my truth, Kimberly, you're sweet. She says, I need you to be my life coach. Kimberly, it would be my pleasure and my honor. You can always contact me at Enlightened Circles. If you guys haven't done it yet and it's something that you had chosen to do, remember there's always a free consultation, 30-minute consultation, complimentary connection session. You can go to enlightencircles.com. There's also if you sign up for the email list, there is a free DVD that I still say DVD. I know I'm not that old, but I'm older. And it's a free download that comes to your email that is a meditation DNA healing. And you can go through that. You can go through it in so many beautiful ways. You can go through it in your own time. You'll always be able to access it through your email again. So you can go there and do that as well. And you guys also know you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, right? So for those of you who have not done, thanks, Jen and Gilbert. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. That's what makes me even seem more amazing. The thing is, you guys can go on Facebook and YouTube. If you have not followed me on Instagram and you have an Instagram account, go to Enlightened Circles, follow me on Instagram as well, because sometimes there's certain things that get posted on Instagram and they don't make it all the way to Facebook, even though they're connected. If you're following me on Facebook and you have not followed me yet on YouTube, go to YouTube and register. I love your spirit too, Kimberly. Thank you. If you've not gone to YouTube and registered there, please go to YouTube as well, because when you guys are trying to go through all the different feeds, especially as of lately, my live feeds were not coming up on YouTube Prior, they were only coming up on Facebook, but since I've been using StreamYard, they are going to YouTube, and especially within the last 3 to 4 months, you'll be able to find the videos a lot easier. So you may want to subscribe and follow YouTube with Enlightened Circles so that you cannot have to go down through everything in Facebook to find all my videos. But everyone knows on Facebook, you can go to videos and then you can find the videos as well, because there's many things that I've been doing over the previous years, and some of them, everything still resonates today, right? So whether it be breathing techniques, whether it be other people I've worked with and I bring forward, remember you guys as well, anyone you're considering and you think like, hey, I think they should be with Jessica on Enlightened Circles, let me know, private message me, make a mutual connection if you want via Facebook or email. And I would love to bring somebody else that you know of to bring us here. Let's have a real conversation and let's enlighten ourselves together, right? In our true spirit, in our true self, because each and every single one of us really do deserve to be living a positive, abundant life, abundant in finances, abundant in love, abundant in emotions, abundant in everything that's beautiful. This is our time. It is our place. And you do deserve it. So you deserve it, I deserve it, we all deserve it, and we can do this together. So I thank each and every single one of you again for all your love, for all your light, for your enlightened circles. It doesn't matter how deep you think your enlightened circles are buried. I see your light. I see your light, I feel your light, and I'm honored to know your light. My wish for you, my desire for you, my prayer for you, my love for you is that you see that beautiful light that you have within as well, so that your surface, if it was ice, if it was icebergs, whatever that surface was that was keeping you maybe from your light is now chipped away, broken away. So you see your true light, you see the love that you are, you see the beauty you are, and you start to recognize that every single day with such beauty, with such honor in all that you are. And if I could have any prayer for each and every single one of you, that would be it. Because once you do that, the healing comes in, the physical healing comes in, at least what's supposed to be done, right? And we start to realize what's supposed to be done, what's not going to happen, and we can move past it. The emotional healing comes in, the spiritual healing, it all comes together. It all comes together. And that which is not supposed to be in your atmosphere, in your sphere, in your vibrational world, in your environment, it naturally finds its way out. And it's not a problem. It's not an issue. It naturally finds its way out. This, I promise you, this is true and it is real. It's happened for me. It's happened for anyone I've worked with. It's happened with anyone I've known that has done their own personal work as well, or more so, even when we don't have the energy to do our personal work, when we allow that which is greater than ourselves to come in, help us, and let it do the work for us when we don't even have the strength and energy. It's just about that power of allowance. So when we're not allowing something, don't forget, we're forbidding and denying it. So I highly encourage each one of you, allow yourself to move beyond the surface that you've known. Take the deep dive of that which you've been afraid of, and allow yourself to rise. Allow yourself to rise back up in a beautiful, protected way with the light, with that true beauty, which you deserve to deal with, which you deserve to pass through and pass forward and move past everything, so that you are living in all that glory that you truly deserve. And it does happen. It's moment by moment. It's day by day. It's year by year, but it doesn't end. Okay, guys? So lots of love to every single one of you out there. Have a beautiful evening, morning. Arigato to all my beautiful friends in Japan, friends all over the world. Obrigada to all the friends I saw jumping on from Portugal as well. Everywhere you are, because our energies globally are connected. We are universal. Just like Kimberly said, she asks God in the universe. We are asking each other as well then. By doing that, we're asking each other to bring in that beautiful protection, to bring in that beautiful light, to bring in that beautiful love into everything that we are. But thank you, Teresa. Thank you for the beautiful sound vibrational healer that you are at, oh gosh, I'm going to get it wrong. The Flowering Journey. Your Flowering Journey? The Flowering Journey. Type it in, Teresa, please. The Flowering Journey is her site. She's a beautiful friend of mine. We grew up together. and we've known each other and been able to reconnect in this beautiful life now in our spiritual paths that we're both walking as well. So it's always fun to have those new connections or those newfound connections. And you never knew, why were we always around each other when we were young? Why were we always pushed together? Why do we have such similar lives, right? It's so that we can really all grow together. And there is a divine plan, even if you don't find it for 20 years later, it's there. And just like Lauren Michael Harris was saying, flowering journey wellness. Thank you, Teresa. Flowering journey wellness. Thank you. But just like when I was on the Curiosity Theory with Martin Lopez last week, and one of his guests was Lauren Michael Harris, he was talking about living in truth as well. And he was bringing up many beautiful points. And I'll actually be on his show on Friday. So Friday, right here on Enlightened Circles, let's start off with tomorrow. On Enlightened Circles, tomorrow you'll catch me at 12 p.m. Eastern time right here. I will have a beautiful guest named Aranza. She's known as the corporate goddess. She has worked with many different groups, such as on the global VP format and blue chip kind of items, Johnson & Johnson, IKEA, just to name a few. And she has worked out there in these beautiful places and in this world. She works with females, males, and everywhere else, in understanding that you don't necessarily need to have girl power and everything else. You just need to have you, because you are the power. You hold the power, right? So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time right here on Enlightened Circles. You'll find it on Facebook and YouTube. And then on Friday, I am a guest at 8 a.m. Central Time. So that's 9 a.m. Eastern Time. The Lauren Michael Harris show. He does bathrobe moments, and we'll be restreaming it right here on Enlightened Circles for you guys on Facebook. I know he has it on YouTube as well. So it'll be restreamed back over here as well. So you can catch me at 9 a.m. Eastern Time or 8 a.m. Central, because he's out of Chicago. So we'll be doing that bathrobe moments on Friday morning. So there's still time for us to have these beautiful discussions, for us to talk, for us to be here together. And if not, get a hold of me at enlightencircles.com or Enlightened Circles on social media. Lots of love to you all this beautiful evening and day and morning, wherever you are. And may this energy that we shared here tonight, all the healing energy, your backs, all the GI issues, everything everyone has, and physically, spiritually, emotionally, may all this healing light continue to work within you, without you. And may it continue to go on and out to everyone else in this world and universe in need. Amen. Aho namaste. And I always say amen, because that translation is I believe. And you guys know aho with the Native American community as well. And I believe being as well with namaste. And I see you. I see each and every single one of you. So a beautiful night. Much love to you guys. And we'll see you. Have a fabulous, amazing week filled with your new vibrations on your surface. Bye, guys.